Why is Dailymail so obsessed with Meghan Sussex's outfits? It's a question we all need to ask. A quick scan through their website, and you'll find a surprising number of articles dedicated to the fashion choices of Meghan Sussex. From her elegant dresses to her chic coats, every single piece she wears seems to warrant a full-length feature. Let's take a moment to ponder over this. Why are they so invested in what Meghan Sussex decides to wear? The answer seems to be a peculiar fascination, bordering on obsession. An obsession not with fashion per se, but with Meghan's personal style. The tone of these articles is something else to behold. They're not just simple reports about her attire, they're detailed analyses, the cut of her dress, the designer behind her shoes, the history of her handbag. No detail is too small or insignificant. It's not unusual for media outlets to cover celebrity fashion. It's part of the glitz and glamour that people love. But when it comes to Meghan Sussex, the Daily Mail's coverage seems to be in a league of its own. They don't just report on her outfits, they dissect them. They speculate on the messages she might be sending through her clothing choices. They insinuate meaning where there might be none. It's almost as if they're trying to decode a secret language, one where every stitch and seam holds a hidden message. In some articles, they even go as far as to compare Meghan's style to other famous figures. It's as though they're trying to place her in a fashion hierarchy, a game of who wore it better, where she's the only player. So, we return to our original question. Why is Daily Mail so obsessed with Meghan Sussex's outfits? It seems that they've made her wardrobe a central character in their narrative. They've turned her fashion choices into a spectacle, a daily show for their readers to consume. Daily Mail seems to have a fixation on Meghan Sussex's wardrobe. But is it really a news story? Perhaps it's time we start asking why the clothes of one woman hold such a prominent place in our news cycle. Daily Mail's obsession with Meghan Sussex's outfits begs the question, is this quality journalism? We must ponder over this. We're living in a world with a plethora of issues that call for our attention. From climate change to human rights, these are serious matters that deserve more column inches than a woman's wardrobe choices. Yet it seems that Daily Mail has a different agenda. It's become a common sight to see Meghan Sussex's name splashed across their headlines, accompanied by a meticulous analysis of her clothing. While there's no denying that Meghan Sussex's style is noteworthy, one has to wonder, is this the best use of journalistic resources? Imagine for a moment if the same amount of energy was directed towards reporting on other critical issues. How much more informed would the public be? Perhaps we would be reading about the latest breakthroughs in renewable energy or the ongoing efforts to combat global poverty. Instead, we're left sifting through articles about the Duchess's latest ensemble. This practice raises serious questions about the role and responsibility of the media. Journalism, at its core, should aim to inform, educate, and stimulate critical thinking. It should provide a platform for the important issues of the day. Yet, when we see the likes of Daily Mail dedicating their resources to covering Meghan Sussex's outfits, it's hard not to question their journalistic values. In an era that demands accountability and transparency, such practices seem to veer towards sensationalism rather than journalism. It's as if these publications are using Meghan Sussex's name to generate a buzz, to attract clicks, and to sell papers, without offering anything substantive in return. So, where does this leave us? Well, it's clear that the media landscape is in need of a serious overhaul. It's time for publications like Daily Mail to reassess their priorities and refocus their efforts towards providing quality journalism. It appears that Daily Mail's obsession with Meghan Sussex's fashion choices is more about sensationalism than journalism. Is Daily Mail simply using Meghan Sussex's name for financial gain? This is a question that we must consider when we look at the sheer volume of articles and content generated around Meghan's outfits and persona. It's almost as if her name has become an easy ticket to increase readership and add revenue. Now, let's delve a little deeper into this. In the world of online journalism, clicks and views translate directly into revenue. The more people click on an article, the more ad revenue is generated. Considering the global interest in Meghan Sussex, it's no surprise that articles about her are likely to get a significant number of views. Imagine for a moment hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of clicks on a single article about Meghan's latest outfit. Each click represents a tiny fraction of a pound, But when you multiply that by the immense number of clicks, it begins to add up. We can't know the exact figures without peeking into Dailymail's books. However, it's safe to say that the revenue from these articles is far from insignificant. Additionally, these articles also serve to increase Dailymail's visibility and reach. Each time someone shares an article about Meghan Sussex on their social media, it's essentially free advertising for the publication. This, in turn, can lead to more subscribers and even more clicks in the future, creating a cycle of financial gain. But is it fair to use someone's name in such a way? Especially when the coverage often tends to be obsessive and critical. This is a question of journalistic ethics that the Daily Mail and other media outlets must grapple with. In conclusion, it appears that Meghan Sussex's name is indeed a cash cow for Daily Mail. But at what cost? The cost of journalistic integrity, the cost of someone's peace of mind? These are questions that need to be asked and discussed. For now, we can only hope that the conversation around this issue leads to a more respectful and ethical approach in media coverage. It seems that Meghan Sussex's name is a cash cow for Daily Mail. What impact does this obsession have on Meghan Sussex herself? This is the question we are left with as we delve into the darker side of the intense scrutiny Meghan Sussex faces. Imagine, if you will, a world where every outfit you wear, every style you choose, is dissected, analysed, and often criticised. Not by a close circle of friends or family, but by an entire nation, even the world at large. This is the reality Meghan Sussex lives in. The constant attention, the ceaseless commentary, it's a relentless spotlight that never dims. The psychological impact of this relentless scrutiny can be profound. Meghan Sussex, like all of us, is a human being. She has feelings, emotions, and a mind that can be affected by the constant scrutiny and criticism. It's like living in a fishbowl, with every move, every choice, every outfit scrutinized to the nth degree. This level of attention can lead to stress, anxiety, and a feeling of constantly being on edge. Moreover, the emotional toll can be equally heavy. The continuous criticism and judgment can chip away at one's self-esteem, leading to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. For Meghan Sussex, a woman of poise and strength, this can be a harsh reality to face. The obsessive scrutiny also opens up the floodgates for cyberbullying and harassment. Social media, with its anonymity and lack of accountability, can be a breeding ground for hateful comments and character assassinations. It's a toxic environment that no one should have to endure, let alone someone who's already under the microscope in such a public way. To add to this, the constant focus on Meghan Sussex's style and fashion choices detracts from the important work she does. It reduces her to a mere mannequin, a figurehead for fashion, rather than acknowledging her as a woman of substance, with important messages to share and work to be done. While Daily Mail profits, Meghan Sussex pays the price. It's a heavy price, one that goes beyond the financial. It's a price paid in mental well-being, emotional health, and personal security. It's a price that, quite frankly, no one should have to pay. So what can we do as viewers and consumers of news? It's a question that deserves our attention, especially in an era where celebrity obsession often overshadows the real issues at hand. The fact that a whole article can be devoted to Meghan Sussex's outfits, that a reputable media outlet can dedicate such resources to examining the minutiae of her wardrobe, should give us pause. We need to take a step back and ask ourselves, are we focusing on the right things? Are we letting ourselves be swayed by the dazzling allure of celebrity culture instead of demanding more substance from our news outlets? As viewers, we have the power to shape the narrative. Every time we click on an article, every time we share a link, we're sending a message about what kind of content we value. And right now, we're telling the media that we value fluff over substance, obsession over insight. But we can change that. We can demand better. Instead of feeding the cycle of celebrity obsession, we can choose to focus on the issues that truly matter. We can choose to look beyond the glitz and glamour and instead delve into the heart of the stories that shape our world. We can hold our news outlets accountable. We can question their motives, their priorities. We can call them out when they choose sensationalism over responsible journalism. We can remind them that their role is not to obsess over a woman's wardrobe, but to inform, to enlighten, to challenge. We have the power to shift the narrative, to turn the spotlight away from Meghan Sussex's outfits and towards the issues that deserve our attention. So let's use that power. Let's be more critical of the news we consume, more discerning of the stories we share. Let's demand more from our media, and let's demand more from ourselves as consumers of news. Remember, your clicks and views have power. Use them wisely, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.